Acres here in Aurora, and just kind of a quick agronomic update. Not a lot changed this last week. We saw some cooler temperatures set in. We're looking for a nice warm up coming the end of the week here. And what that really did was kind of slow things down. So, on one hand, slowing things down isn't all bad, but we did lose some sunlight and have some very cloudy, overcast days. So, not real excited about that. As we're out in fields, we are starting to, be able to evaluate for some tip back. And then so this is a good time to start looking at your ears. Sometimes it gives a false sense of security that maybe we have the tip filled at blister stage. But now that we're putting milk in there, you can see we're pulling back a little bit. A little bit of tip back isn't a bad thing. It all is a little bit hybrid specific and based on population, but kind of being evaluating so we kind of have an idea. Obviously, if we start running out of nutrients, maybe we're under some sort of stress, we can cause some of that tip back as well. So just being out in your fields and kind of understanding what's happening is important. On an update front, we continue to find southern rust. There are places where we had untreated fields a week ago that we were in, and we weren't finding any. Last week through Merrick, Butler counties over by David City, about every field we were in that hadn't been treated, we were finding some level of southern rust. So it's pretty prominent out there, and it's just important that we keep watching it. Most of this southern rust was at the ear leaf level, maybe just a little bit below. Obviously our concern is southern rust can blow up fast as those spores get deposited on the top of the leaf. So if we see a fog event, or we had a few cool nights with some temperature inversions, that's what we got to watch for. Just make sure all of a sudden something doesn't sneak up on us here in the next couple weeks. So far the treated fields are holding up real well, but obviously depending on the fungicide you used and the timeline, we may be running out of some coverage there. So keep scouting your fields. Also seeing some spider mites. What we're really concerned about the plant is most of the energy in the corn plant here to feed the leaf is coming at this ear leaf on up. We really want to keep that healthy. Obviously we're really happy with this plant here. We're green from top to bottom, but watching for some nutrient deficiencies down low. Diseases like gray leaf spot and stuff tend to move up, but like I mentioned with southern rust, it can be on the ear leaf, and then if we get the right event, you can deposit up on top and all of a sudden be to the top of our plant in a matter of a couple days. So that's why it's important that we're in fields often, and you can't just walk away for a couple weeks and come back. You might find things have changed pretty rapidly. Soybean wise, here's a couple different maturity soybeans. As we're looking at most of these soybeans, you can see we're starting to put beans and fill these pods. Still a little bit of flowering taking place and pods set here at the top. So, we would call these R3 to R4 stage beans. This is an ideal time for fungicide applications. When you think about a soybean plant, they're pulling a lot of energy, a lot of nutrients, a lot of water now to start filling these pods. This is when beans really have their high load of nutrient uptake, especially potassium. And they're starting to look for their nitrogen and sulfur now. So fertigation, we just made a pass here yesterday with Pivot Max, getting some P and some K out here. That's a good time for hitting beans now. It's go time on the beans to get stuff out there, same way with the fungicide. So in beans, we continue to see some frog eye. We also see spider mites in the drier areas hitting beans. Really new to me. We talked about that a little bit last week, but not a lot has changed on that front. Just we keep finding hot spots and addressing fields as we go. So just encourage everybody to get out here and be in your fields and kind of understand what's going on. We're looking forward to actually a little bit of warmer weather. Let's get this crop going again, and hopefully we don't get too hot. So everybody have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week.